You know what they say, the best handheld is the one that you have with you. And most of the time, people, they have a cell phone of some kind on them. In order to turn that into a handheld, all you gotta do is use one of these bad boys. This is the ELO Vagabond. And full disclosure, this is technically a sponsored video, but they have no say in whatever I say in this video. They just sent it my way and they wanted me to put it in the top of my priority list for publishing videos. Now, I'll be honest with you. Most of the time, I don't even use these. I prefer to use a PC handheld of some kind or a retro handheld emulator like I do with most of the videos and content that I post on here. But I was curious about this because there are some instances where I can't take a handheld with me for whatever reason it may be. And sometimes it's just nicer to just have something like this that is ergonomic. It feels much more comfortable and I'm able to go ahead and play for long extended periods of time, especially since there's pass-through charging on this thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Why would you even want to consider something like this? And I would say to people that are interested in something like this is that you have pretty much full ergonomic control and being able to play the games that you would play on a PC, a console, or whatever it may be with an attachable controller that you can play. Not to mention that if you are using Android, and as of recently, you can also use an iOS device, but if you're using Android, there are a ton of emulation options that are out there. So that means that you can play old school titles and take them with you whenever you want, just to get that retro itch out of the way. When it comes to actually playing modern titles, you can always use xCloud with the Xbox Game Pass or PS Remote Play. That's another option as well. Or you can install Moonlight on your Android or your iOS device. I mean, pretty much the sky's the limit. And of course, you have natively built games for either Android or iOS that you can go ahead and play on as well. Now, if you want one of these, it's currently listed as $99 on their website. But if you look on Amazon, it's currently listed at $84.99, and you can take an additional $5 off with a coupon that's listed there. I'll have links listed down below for Amazon as well as their website. But there are definitely some things that I want to talk about when it comes with this, because when I first got my hands on it, I was kind of taken aback by a couple of things that just didn't make sense in terms of a controller. But I do know that some people might be interested in something like that if they're interested in getting this for themselves. Now, unboxing this was actually a really cool experience. I love the fact that when OEMs and manufacturers, they actually put some thought and effort into the unboxing experiences there. I know not everyone, that's not their jam, but for me personally, whenever I buy something, I want it to be an elevated experience, and they definitely knocked it out of the park with an elevated experience. Underneath the actual controller, there's also a bunch of different adapters for the different sizes that are there for different cell phones. So depending on the size of your cell phone, alongside with a phone case, you can go ahead and adjust the actual sizes with these actual insoles that are here on your actual ELO Vagabond controller. I do like that because, you know, it allows for much more, I guess, a much more custom experience, which means that if you're using this, you can make sure that it fits just right and you don't have to worry about your phone accidentally slipping out whenever you're actually using this controller. There's also some included documentation as well, but you know, who reads those anyways? Instantly, outside of the box, the first thing that I noticed, I just went ahead and put that in my hands and I started noticing the actual clickability of the face buttons. And here, have a listen. That, my friends, is a mechanical button, and it is so interesting because it sounds and feels like you're actually clicking on a mouse instead of pushing down on a membrane-based button. So for me, it definitely was an interesting feeling. Most of the buttons that I use on most of the controllers, they're all membranes, and they have more of a clicky functionality that's similar to the Xbox controller for the most part, unless you're using a DualSense, but that's a whole different story entirely. This really stood out for me initially. And obviously when I started, you know, expanding the actual controller and getting a good feel for it, that was cool too. But then I noticed that there's this USB input that's right here that is flexible, which means that it has much more, I guess, range of motion, which allows for, you know, actually putting in the cell phone and using it accordingly. The triggers and the analog sticks are Hall sensing, so you don't have to worry about any sort of drift, and you can calibrate them in the app. I'll show you how to do that later on in the video. The D-pad feels nice, it's okay. It definitely feels a little bit more mushier than I would like, and there isn't that much range of motion. I actually am not a fan of D-pads that move this much whenever you actually have them on there, which, you know, it is what it is. Now, the actual face buttons that are right here, as well as the actual menu buttons and the different options that are here, including that ELO Vagabond button, those are mechanical buttons as well. One thing that I do want to go ahead and point out is that these actual macro buttons that are here on the back, you can push this switch that is right here, and that way you won't be able to click on it. Push it back, fully clickable. Put them back, non-clickable. There is USB-C pass-through charging and a 3.5mm port, so if you want to go ahead and use audio that way, that's another option too. And also, overall, I like the ergonomics. I like the feel that is here. It feels nice to have in the hands, and like it almost kind of feels like a cross between an Xbox controller and a Nintendo Switch controller, or maybe an 8BDO Ultimate Bluetooth controller in terms of like functionality and feel. It feels nice to use in the hands, to say the least. One thing that I do want to go ahead and mention is that I have an actual adapter that's over here that has a ton of things connected, but the main things that I wanted to connect to it was not only power delivery, but also internet connectivity. I want an Ethernet port connected to it. And the pass-through USB-C port that's here on this does not actually support Ethernet connectivity at all. The only thing that's coming through is actually the power. So no internet connectivity, only power can actually pass through that port on the bottom. So let's go ahead and talk about the ELO Vagabond app. Now, technically the app is called Unleashed, but when you actually go in for the first time, you can see that right here it shows that Minecraft is in my library, and it is installed, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you come right over here, there are 3 different options. There is your library, then there's different games that are here that you can download and install. These are essentially games that are supporting the controller itself or are controller supported, and then there's my library. So my library is essentially games that, you know, let's say I were to go here, I'm like, okay, I like Sky. You can mark it as favorite with Y, and then from there it'll show up in that portion of the application itself. Your account information is right over here, but one of the things that I wanted to go ahead and show was that in the settings you have the option to actually calibrate not only the buttons themselves but also the triggers. So you have all of these that are available right over here. You have an axis lock as well, so you can calibrate the sticks. The triggers are all 4 at the same time. One thing that I do want to go ahead and mention is that although this is set up to just work with the controller, the D-pad, if I were to push it more than once in any given direction, it just doesn't work for whatever reason, which is kind of odd. I think that's something that will be updated later on with a firmware update. There are ways that you can change the button mapping that's here if you want to change it more towards a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo layout versus an Xbox style. That's an option as well. And also, I do love the fact that you can control the LED brightness that is here, because sometimes, like if you're playing at night and you don't want to disturb your partner, like you don't want to have that bright light just going all out. But you know, that's something that's there. Now, in terms of the firmware that is installed, I have the latest one that is 1.7.639. Aside from that, nothing else has been released. There is a beta, I believe, that is out as well. If I can go ahead and look right over here just to be sure, but you can enroll into it, and it's pretty much dead set in terms of that. Now, there is an ELO Virtual Touch that is apparently coming soon. I don't know much about that personally, but that is an option that is there as well. Now, I do have other games that are installed here as well. That's something that I think bears mentioning when it comes to the games that are here. For example, I have Dead Cells installed. I've launched it already. I've gotten that running. I've also got Genshin Impact on here as well. So there are definitely some problems with the actual Your Library popping up and having that readily available. But if we were to go ahead and go in here, and let's say I go into Indie where Dead Cells is stored, come right over here, it says play now. So all I have to do is just hit the Y button to mark it as a favorite, and then from there I can go ahead and pull it up from my library and start playing from there. So I'm playing some games on here. I mean, it feels fine. There really isn't too much that I can complain about in terms of like the ergonomics and how things are laid out. The one thing that I wish is that there was more functionality with the application within the game itself. Whenever I tried to set up this Vagabond button that is right over here, it didn't really do anything. There wasn't anything that actually popped up whenever I was doing things. It tried to set things up with Android, but aside from that, it couldn't really recognize it, and there wasn't any sort of communication between my cell phone and the device itself, despite it being connected. Regardless of that Vagabond button, everything else worked just fine. If I wanted to go ahead and take a screenshot, all I would do is just hit this button over here, and it would take a screenshot of whatever it was that was happening on screen, so I could go ahead and share and tweet and do whatever it is that I wanted to go ahead and do with it. The layout, ergonomics, and overall design of the feel of this is great. I wish that the firmware was updated to support all of the functionality that is there, or the application itself. When I looked into seeing whether or not it was a beta problem and, you know, not actually a stable build, the beta is actually older than the stable build that is installed on here in concerns to the software itself. So I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, in between in terms of whether or not I would recommend something like this. If you're interested in something like this, and yeah, obviously it is a nice to have when you compare it to some of the other options that are out there as well. But because I don't know. I wanted more functionality in there. The feel isn't 100% premium with the plastic that's here. It kind of feels like it isn't something that is worth $100 or $99 at the time of this recording. It feels like this is something that would be a little tiny bit cheaper. But then again, when you're comparing it to some of the other telescopic controllers that are out there, it's kind of hard to really justify, you know, something that is this feeling in terms of everything else. The mechanical face buttons are rather interesting, and the D-pad definitely leaves a lot to be desired because of the layout that's there and the feel. It's mushy in comparison to everything else that's out there. The analog sticks feel great, but I don't know. I wish that there was something a little bit more that would allow for much more functionality with what's here. That being said, you know, thanks to Vagabond or ELO for sending this my way, but I don't know if this is something that I'm going to be keeping on my controller or my cell phone to play games. So what do you guys think of the ELO Vagabond controller? Is this something that you're interested in? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to hear my thoughts on the latest and greatest AMD APU, then click this video over here. And if you want to hear my thoughts on some of the latest and greatest retro handheld emulation, then click this video over here. And until next time, guys, I will see you on the next one. Peace.